When Daniel Shamoun first invited me to Antigua and Barbuda, I knew it would be beautiful. But nothing prepared me for quite how beautiful it truly is. Being on the beach with the sand under my feet, looking out at the bright blue ocean and feeling the sun on my face, I realised it really is a tropical paradise. Daniel Shamoun owns and runs multiple luxury resorts and hotels worldwide. He seeks out places that have that unique touch of magic. Hermitage Bay in Antigua, as well as Nobu Barbuda, both of which I visited with him, truly have that special something. My name is Oriel Redaway, and this is A Moment With. Hi Daniel, thank you so much for inviting us out here. For you, what makes Antigua and Barbuda special?
Well, Antigua and Barbuda, apart from all the natural beauty and everything that makes a Caribbean island so special, the one thing for me that differentiates it from other destinations is that the people are so genuine and so welcoming and kind that the minute you arrive, the minute you step off the plane, you feel like you're a local yourself. And you always get in a lot of tourist destinations this kind of distance between the local population and the tourists and people arriving on holiday. But here you don't feel that barrier. It's almost as if they welcome you as part of the family when you arrive.
And how would you describe what you do?
So my job, and I'm going to be a little bit selfish here, is to make people happy. That's really what I focus on. And I love for people to be in an environment where they're enjoying themselves or having a good time, things that are very, very special and unique that create memories. We always say that memory is the most valuable possession because you can have an object, you can own a car, you can own a watch, you can own a nice dress, but you own it and you have it in your closet. But a memory becomes part of your fabric. So 50 years from now, you'll be telling your grandchildren this experience you had in Antigua and Barbuda, and that is true value.
And how do you choose your locations?
So I always choose locations that appeal to me. I choose the locations because it's where I want to be. But I find that where I want to be is where other people want to be. So that really has kind of given me this beautiful job of being able to find places that really appeal to myself and create products and create experiences that also really appeal to myself, that other people, when they come and they discover them, enjoy too.
And what are some of your main inspirations?
So for me, I find that nature and all the elements around the environment really are what drives our business. So whether it be all of the landscaping, or whether it be the architecture, whether it be the local food, everything has to be authentic, everything has to be real, and everything has to be local. So here on the island of Barbuda, we try and have everything designed around the way that Barbuda has always had its architecture and all of the natural plants for the island, the food we catch fresh every day.
What does hospitality mean to you?
So I grew up in hospitality. Our family business was always restaurants, hotels. So I grew up in the kitchens, waiting tables, working in all the departments. So I really have it in my blood, and I really understand what makes a hospitality business successful and what makes a customer happy. So for me, I find that it's a mix, creating that mix of such a great combination of elements that really creates that unique experience.
Thank you so much. This has been really interesting. I look forward to hearing more at Hermitage Bay.
Thank you.
At Nobu Barbuda, Daniel told me that the natural world inspired him. When I arrived at Hermitage Bay, I saw exactly what he meant. The lush, tropical nature of this destination in Antigua is integral to this secluded slice of tranquility. The last part of my journey was sitting down with Daniel on the beach at Hermitage Bay to talk about the ethos behind his business and his philosophy of life. So Daniel, I just want to start by saying thank you so much for yesterday. Nobu was incredible and we were so delighted to get a chance to visit it. Could you tell me a bit about how you're involved with Nobu Barbuda?
So our involvement with Nobu began about 7 or 8 years ago when we were opening a hotel in Ibiza, which we were looking for a destination restaurant to add to the mix. And we had Nobu as one of the options, and we decided to go forward and open a Nobu restaurant. And halfway through the project, they said we'd like to brand the entire hotel. And the entire hotel had been finished more or less. So we said, well, it's a little bit late. We've already got all the branding. But we thought about it, and we decided to go ahead and call it the Nobu Ibiza Bay. And then we also opened another Nobu hotel in Marbella as well. We were invited to participate in this project, and we decided to come and have a look and fell in love with the island, and the rest is history.
Can you tell me about how SLH, Small Luxury Hotels, fits in with Hermitage Bay?
So Small Luxury Hotels of the World, kind of our global brand that our hotels kind of are modeled around, and Hermitage Bay is a newest addition, not only to our portfolio, but also to SLH. A hotel like Hermitage Bay is a perfect example of a small luxury hotel of the world because it's unique, special, offers you a very authentic experience, and it's independent. It doesn't belong to any big chain or have any affiliation with any of the big hotel brands. Very individual, very unique hotel. We give you the strength and we give you the capability to compete. So whereas it's very difficult to run a small hotel, and Small Luxury Hotels of the World, for me, is really the resource for independent hotels to be truly independent. Hermitage Bay, I think, is really, for me, kind of the perfect culmination of what that is. We have acquired the hotel, and then SLH has really given us that big, powerful structure in order to be able to operate and to sell it as a unique and independent product.
Obviously, in terms of the people, it's very hard to manufacture that perfect magic. But how do you go about choosing your teams for these places?
So we try to base all of our hirings on personality, because you can train someone to do something, train a chef, you can train a waiter, you can train a barman. And then if somebody we feel has the right attitude, then we will hire them. And even if they're not experienced in that particular skill, then we train them in order to work in that department.
I'd love to hear a bit more about some of your philanthropic projects. Could you tell me about World Vision?
So World Vision is a charity that I've been involved in since I was, I think, in my teens. I sponsored a child. When I had my own children, I thought I would love to do something on a wider scale. So I met with them, and they actually started this program, which was water treatment. And we contribute every year a certain amount. We did a project in Kenya for tuberculosis, where we eradicated tuberculosis in a certain area.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And that was a real important moment for me, because I actually see this family and see that they wouldn't be there if we hadn't done the program. Then suddenly everything becomes much more real, and you actually see that you are having a huge impact in these areas. So our current project at the moment in Uganda, all the refugees coming across the border from Sudan, they are coming across children with no parents, refugees who have been walking for weeks to get there. And Uganda accepts them into camps, but they want them not to just live in camps and be refugees all their lives. So these programs help for them to integrate into society. So helps them to start working, gives them programs so they can finance business opportunities, and helps to integrate with the local communities. And we are in our final year of this project at the moment.
Do you know what the next one will be? Will you continue working with them?
We're deciding at the moment. We haven't finalised, but we're still deciding on the next.
A bit top secret at the minute.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet.
That must be quite exciting, though. That kind of, it seems like you enjoy that in uncertainty, scouting for locations and deciding on projects. Is that?
Well, I want to get it right. No, so I think if you get everything right at the outset, then it has a great impact in the long run.
Quinta Romano has been open since the 1970s. It has always had that luxury kind of feel to it. How do you find a balance between the history?
So populating it with all these different attractions, whether it be Nobu or Cipriani or one of the other restaurants or Six Senses Spa, is great, and it adds a great kind of international flavor. But we also try and keep it very much authentic by staying true to that Andalusian soul. So within all the architecture and design. So we're now opening the most famous restaurant in Malaga, which is called El Pimpi. And that's very, very traditional Andalusian offer. And so it really is kind of the authentic feel to the hotel. So surrounded by the Andalusian architecture and all of the elements that surround you, it gives you a very authentic feel while you still have all these other dimensions, so you can visit other parts of the world without leaving the property.
How are you building sustainability into your properties?
For us, it's become an integral part in all of our operations. So we try and build the hotels in a way where it becomes part of the fabric of the hotels. We are constantly expanding our farming element. So every year we have 20 or 30 more different ingredients that we add that we actually grow near the properties. And we try to always be ahead. So wherever we see that there's an area where we can be more efficient, where we can add something that's beneficial to the environment, we try and always implement that. We've just started this new program in several of our hotels where we produce our own drinking water. And so we have a machine that can filter and create enough water to satisfy the entire hotel, and we bottle it in glass bottles that are then once used, cleaned and refilled and then presented in the rooms.
And what are some upcoming projects you've got? Could you tell me about your new property in Sierra Nevada?
Yes, so we have a focus on resorts. So resorts are very seasonal. We decided to open a ski resort and use the ski resort as a balance for the off-season. And that became very successful. It's in an area not many people have heard about called Sierra Nevada, which is the most southern mountain range in Europe. You can ski up to the top, and then you can see the Mediterranean from the top of the product there. And the idea is to create a destination within the destination. So between the three properties, we'll have our own destination, not just three hotels. So people can actually come, have a dinner in a different restaurant every night. They can experience 2 or 3 different spas. They have a retail offer. It sits on the edge of a national park. So you really are kind of inside the mountain range with incredible views. And that's going to be a project that we start construction in April.
You spoke a little yesterday about building experiences and building memories. How do you go about that? Because in some ways it feels like a lot of pressure. It's so special. Is that something that's quite important to you? And could you speak a little more on that?
What we try to achieve with all of our hotels is that creating a unique experience for the client, something that they'll take away with them and never forget. Whatever you can spend your money on comes and goes. What stays with you is your life experiences. And if we create those unique experiences, then for me, that's really what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to achieve. And that's the most fundamental part of our business, is creating these unique experiences that people treasure and keep with them for the rest of their lives.
Well, Daniel, it's been wonderful sitting down with you in Hermitage Bay. Thank you so much for inviting us out here and spending this time chatting with me about what you do and about SLH as well.
It's a pleasure. Lovely to have you here with us.